Last year was my first year putting content on YouTube in the woodworking and tool related space. And it's been quite an adventure, and I'm really thankful for all the community support that I got throughout that year, as well as coming into 2022. In this video, I want to pay it back to a handful of channels. I want to highlight first 5 small channels that either got started around the same time that I did, or sometimes a little earlier than that, and also a couple that are even getting started more recently. Then I'm going to take a look at 5 of the larger YouTube channels that I think everybody should be watching. They're fantastic content. They're my go-to channels that I watch and really offer me the aspiration to become a better content creator. I'm also going to throw in 2 special mentions at the end, 2 channels that I definitely get a lot of enjoyment out of and have received a lot of encouragement. So without further ado, let's take a look at those 5 smaller channels. So let's kick off the smaller channels with Woodcraft by Suman. Suman is a energetic and positive craftsman. He's just unbelievable. He has an amazing tool set. His projects are amazing. The video quality is phenomenal. His editing skills are great. He might even love Purple Heart more than Mark Spagnolo in his early days. So really look at his channel, just some absolutely stunning projects, really gentle presenter, just absolutely awesome. He should have hundreds of thousands of subscribers at this point, but definitely check it out. He's produced some of the top videos, especially for a smaller content producer. Next up, we have Married Man Woodworking, and I think he got started around the same time that I did, and I think that we were part of a little group where we had some conversations back and forth, and he produces a lot of really awesome, practical, giftable projects with some excellent humor, accessible set of tools. His YouTube shorts are just phenomenal. So definitely subscribe if you're into watching YouTube shorts. Just make sure that you watch out for his wife. Next up, we have Friday Workshop, and this is definitely one of the channels to watch in 2022 as far as what I'm hoping will be explosive growth. This is a father-son duo from Idaho. They have amazingly high energy, some excellent humor, accessible set of tools, accessible set of projects. The shorts that they produce are awesome. Again, like just the energy of these two, and to see this father and son duo is absolutely amazing. I'm really looking forward to seeing how they grow. So next up we have Gary Nellis, and this is an interesting one because he just lives a half hour down the road from me. So I look forward to meeting him sometime later this year. But Gary, he produces some really awesome content, really good editing skills, video works really good. He has his 5 layout or shop layout tips is an absolutely fantastic video, as well as his preparing and planning for woodworking videos. Definitely give those a look. He's also getting started on a Rubo build that I'm definitely looking forward, because I know that he'll be documenting that really well. So definitely give Gary a follow. I know it will help him get started, and he's produced some awesome content and look forward to seeing where he goes from here. To round out the smaller woodworking channels, we have Bassador Woodworking. And Wayne got started around the same time that I did, and he's been making some really cool projects, including most recently, and I want to call it a guitar, but I know I shouldn't. I think it's a bass guitar. But just some really cool accessible projects, some really creative projects. He does a great job upgrading tools. His shop tour is great. Definitely give Bassador Woodworking a view. So as we move to the larger YouTube channels to watch in 2022, I definitely want to take the time to highlight Lincoln Street Woodworks. John got started soon after I did last year in 2011 and absolutely leapfrogged the entire 2021 class of YouTube woodworkers getting started in 2021. Just absolutely amazing content. He's hilarious. He's Star Wars obsessed. He's named all of his tools after Star Wars characters. Really one of the biggest up-and-comers in the woodworking YouTube space. And his exponential growth that he experienced over the years is so well deserved. Definitely somebody that if I were getting started in woodworking right now, I would probably up my creative and video editing skills to try to be more in line with what John has done. Just absolutely phenomenal and some absolutely awesome content. He doesn't post as frequently as many of us, but the content is always top notch, and it's really cool to see somebody focus on quality over quantity. So definitely give that a shot. Next up we have, everybody knows Mark Spagnolo and the Wood Whisperer, but I can't really conscientiously put together a list of large woodworking channels to watch without highlighting Mark as one of the OGs in this space. Doesn't need much of an introduction. As far as getting those notifications when one of his videos comes out, definitely one of the ones that I jump to right away. The Wood Whisperer morning show is awesome. It's too bad that it's gone right now, but totally understand that. Just absolutely phenomenal content. His premium content on the Guild is also phenomenal. I've got a few of the projects there. Just can't say enough about Mark, and actually he inspired me to be interested in woodworking when we still lived in an apartment 7 or 8 years ago. So really wanted to make sure that I highlighted that original gangster of the woodworking space. Next up is John Peters and Longview Woodworking. So I didn't know about John Peters until maybe a month ago, and his content is absolutely phenomenal. It's probably most along the lines of what I aspire to be as both a content creator and a woodworker. He has an absolutely beautiful shop. He produces amazing projects with really good explanation and video work. Really, really well done. If you haven't heard of John Peters, definitely check him out. He's absolutely amazing at instructing. He's the kind of person that you would just expect would have a TV show. So definitely give John Peters and Longview Woodworking a look. Next up, we have a very interesting one, and that is Peter Millard. Peter is based in the UK, and he primarily focuses on cabinetry, which has kind of become my general interest. So this might not be as relevant to all of the viewers of this video, but I highly recommend checking it out. He does a fantastic job breaking down tools, and there's a very European focus, of course. So there are a lot of tool brands that those of us in North America don't always see, but then some of the North American brands do creep in there, and some of the European brands that have crept into North America. So it's absolutely awesome to watch this. His coverage of something called the Peanut is just absolutely amazing. It's a tool that most of us in North America just wouldn't be familiar with, and really cool to see. And even some of his older videos get into when he was still actively producing cabinetry for clients and installing them. Really awesome to just see how you go through the math of these plans and how you can actually work with a client to do that, and how when you run into issues, what do you do? So as far as practicality for those of us that are interested, especially in cabinetry and doing cabinetry work for clients, Peter Millard is just absolutely phenomenal. He's one that I don't watch as regularly, but I binge watch when I do. Finally, on the large woodworking channels, we have Bourbon Moth Woodworking, and what can I say enough? Jason is extremely entertaining. He produces some of the best project videos around with top-notch, like, soothing voiceover. It's just absolutely amazing. His style is really cool with that, where he'll put the time to set up cameras to show the build in the proper way, but then he'll do these awesome, really soothing voiceovers with a lot of humor. It's been really cool to see his explosive growth, even highlighting Neil Patrick Harris. So some really cool things here. Awesome shop. Just an absolutely awesome person, highly creative, highly energetic, really, really awesome. Did I say awesome? To round out a couple of honorable mentions in this case, so I first want to highlight Richard over at Woodworking Garage. And Richard got started right around the same time that I did, and was offering me some tips because he saw some very quick growth with some of his initial videos on a variety of topics. And it's been awesome to just see his continued success throughout 2021. He has kind of taken a bit of a break the past 6 months, but he is hoping to get back to it. He has the most prolific collection of pocket hole jig videos that you could see anywhere. His coverage of the lumber price updates really showed how being timely in your content production can yield some amazing results. So some really great content, really accessible, just awesome person to watch. And honestly, Richard, big thanks to you for kind of helping encourage me throughout the year that was 2021. And finally, we have Brian Waters at Waters Woodworks. And Brian's a very interesting one where it's not all woodworking. So I think that's the one channel that I'm highlighting today where it's not all woodworking, but awesome shop tours. He does have woodworking projects, a lot of woodworking tools. He loves his woodpeckers and festool. He has the best sustainer collection that I think I've ever seen, and one that I'm jealous of. His recent build of his camper, where he built a camper from scratch and has even kind of put out a couple of videos showing how the family is enjoying it, are awesome. His new tool reviews are just like no BS, just really useful, and yeah, just really awesome guy to watch, very accessible, and he has a lot of very overlapping interests to me, so that's why I wanted to make sure that I highlighted Brian. So there you have it. Those are my 12 YouTube channels that I continue to watch into 2022. I could put another 30 on the list, but I really wanted to keep this video relatively short and consumable for everybody. So leave a comment below on YouTube channels or tool or workshop channels that you think that I should check out or the rest of the community watching this video should check out. And give this video a like if you liked it, subscribe if you haven't already, and thanks for watching.